So we started the
Yes. It has begun.
we started the one that is the X
Podcast. Yes.
X Spotify. We
Yes.
greet you.
Yes.
Welcome to
Another episode.
an inaugural run.
Yes.
Right? We've got lav mics. We've got the Spotify. This is very serious. Let's see if we have green lights.
I'm greened.
I'm greened as well.
Heck yeah.
All right. Now we're firing up the live feed on the Facebook after we put a link. Oh, the link is to the Podbean.
Yeah, don't do that link.
Yeah, we're not doing that
Don't
link.
do a link.
It's okay. We're going to not do the link.
Yeah, I'll get you
We
that
can
info.
drop links later. Today is the day that we are switching from a Podbean
Yes.
to Spotify.
Spotify, yes.
That's right.
Yes.
And so major format changes happening. Are they major? Do you feel like they're major?
They are a little bit major. We're making moves, baby.
Talk about the moves, Luke, and the things you've done while we
Listen,
fire up the live stream on the Facebook.
What we did.
It's right down here. There we are. Facebook's right there.
Switched from Podbean, which is $40 a month, to Spotify for podcasters, which is free, which is huge. And Spotify for podcasters does everything that Podbean does and more, because you can upload this video onto Spotify. So if you have a Spotify account and are watching us, you can see our face. Spotify. If you have a Spotify account.
Onto what?
Spotify. What are you saying?
Do you mean Spotify?
Oh, I'm sorry. Excuse me. Spotify.
Yeah.
You can upload to Spotify.
Don't say it weird,
Yeah,
dude.
I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry. And nothing really changes for you guys except you get a better product and we get more versatility.
Product.
The product. Content is king, Luke.
Content is king. We need a product.
And what's also cool is that instead of uploading the choppy Facebook Live to YouTube, I can upload this video to YouTube, which will be crisp and clean and good for everybody.
Glorious, crisp, clean, simple,
elegant,
MOV,
yes.
Straight through
yes.
the airwaves
yes.
of the realm.
Yeah, of the realm.
I don't know.
Yes,
it's better than fine. Luke's been working on a ton of that stuff and sending me all kinds of logins and things, which I immediately ignore and figure.
And then bitch about in a week later.
Absolutely.
After I gave it to you.
Absolutely, man.
Guys,
I've got to keep you crisp.
Dude, I even put it on a shared Google sheet that you could get an app and download on every single one of your devices and have every single login at any time. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to switch the double authentication bullshit to one email that you have access to and I have access to. So you never have to wait for codes.
That's what killed me, because my my Apple devices kept
yes.
updating. They were updating the OS like every 3 weeks. And every time they updated the OS, all of the Google stuff would get
exploded,
offloaded.
Yep.
And then then I have to, the icon is still on my whatever home screen.
Mm-hmm.
But when I tap it, oh, now it's got a clock on it, and it's now downloading.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Then, in order to log in, this is the thing that drives me to a fit of pique.
Yes.
Is then in order to log in, it has that double authentication on it.
Oh.
And I'm texting Luke, hey, you're about to get a code. Send me the code, which works.
It does work.
Great. He'll do it even when he's supposed to be doing his real job. But the whole thing leaves me feeling a little bit like this guy.
Oh, dude, no, I forgot. The things of nightmares, dude.
As we sort out these tech issues, let's just remember we're never doing headsets.
Yeah, what are we going to do?
Well,
just no headsets?
I'll tell you what we're not going to do is we're not going to let our head get shaped like this.
I do not like it, dude.
We're not going to have that happen. So we are not doing headsets. If you all haven't heard about this incredible medical phenom that is spreading throughout the broadcasting world,
dude,
guys are putting deep
trenches.
Yes.
Head trench. I think that's what we called it last time. The head trench.
Unbelievable dents in the top of their heads just from the weight of a snug fitting headset over years of broadcasting.
Yes.
I don't know if 2 days a week is enough to get that.
I don't think so.
But I'm not gambling it, because I already have a joint in my skull.
And I think that's what's happening. They're sitting on the joint.
On the joint.
And
they're just displacing the joint. So I don't want to have, I already have clearly got a forehead bone on the front, and then I got whatever
capsules.
Cranny
Yeah,
capsule
right.
musculator
Exactly,
on the back, and you know, I'm not into phrenology, which is the study of the bumps on the human head.
That can't be true.
But why mess up your phrenological exam with
with a headset?
This?
Oh, dude.
I mean,
Every
this
time
is
I see
just.
it, I don't like it, dude.
It really shows you that, like, oh yeah, I got a great idea. I'm going to do a bunch of broadcasting. You know, if in that moment God had shown you that you would wind up with an 1.5 inch deep trench in the top of your head, would you have done it anyway? You know,
Probably.
it
I
seems
don't
like
know.
a Faustian bargain, you
Right,
know.
yeah.
Seems Faustian to me.
I mean, I will say this: the guys who are ending up with trenches are spending like it's somewhere between 6 and 12 hours a day streaming every single day as their job.
That's a lot.
But it's like driving around without your seatbelt on. It seems great until you got a head trench. You know?
Yeah,
like,
but driving around without your seatbelt on isn't gonna like make your like. It's not gonna make your
like rip your torso in two or something.
I don't know.
I understand. It's not a
gonna
perfect
change
analogy.
you physiologically.
Yeah, right.
This is a little beyond the pale to have a dent in the top of your head. You know, my heart goes out to the first round of people that have discovered that if you wear a headset and you broadcast, that you can wind up with a huge dent in your head.
Trench.
It could be permanent.
I bet that it's not, because
Well,
you can go to like we're taking our son to what's it called, like a physical therapist or an occupational therapist, and she does like cranial sacral work on babies' heads. Now babies are smushy and their head can move, but I bet an adult's head could form back up somehow. You'd have to wear a brace.
Suction device,
dude.
To pull the top of the
Oh,
head. You have to look at what you're dealing with right now. I'm going through ideas in my head of how to pull the skull back up. It's not pretty, because all you'd wind up doing is I realize my device, my first prototype is flawed because all it's going to do is pull the skin up.
Yeah.
Maybe you could go to a plastic surgeon and they could insert
like
a body modification to fill that. That's probably the way to go. You know who we should ask? Sam Cook at Life Skateboards.
Oh yeah, he's got a head dent.
Sam has had brain surgery,
and
they did the old spinach can on Sam.
Oh,
you know what I mean,
dude? They popped the top.
Spinach canned him, man. They took off a big old flop of his head, and they took out one of them glioblastoma octopus cancers that was on top of it. This is his medical information.
Yeah, it's fine.
This is. I shouldn't share a friend's medical information, but
he loves it.
But he's
he loves it when we do this.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's thank Life Skateboards for the skateboards we ride. I've got 2 setups in my truck, and I'm about to put on these 2 sets of wheels that I just bought from Craft Skate Shop in Blue Ash, Ohio, right near my house. I had to order out the ones I came in for.
What's Formula X? Is that their new street?
So,
formula?
As far as I understand, this is Bones Formula X, and I was ordering a set.
Yes.
2 pairs.
2 pairs. Yes.
I was ordering
2 sets.
A set of Powell Dragons because they're all the hubbub.
May I?
Yeah. First observation: wheels are yellow again. Bones wheels have been pearly white.
Yes.
And almost chalk colored.
Yes.
For a long time. Then they came out with the amber wheels, no dye.
Whoa.
With no dye, urethane is amber colored. And they came out with the clear wheels. I have a set of those on one of my boards, and they slide really well. I don't get it. It's fine. But these have an amber tint to them. They're more natural. Natural urethane? Urethane's not natural at all.
I don't understand.
It's a petrochemical.
Don't worry about it.
Don't tell Greta.
Yeah, don't tell Greta.
So anyways, I ordered the Dragons and at Craft Skate Shop.
What was the price on these bad boys, if you don't mind me asking?
I think I paid $49 for those.
I want a set. These sound BA.
So I came in for the Dragons, and I wanted a set of 58 Dragons. Mm-hmm. And I said, I could have got 56s, but I went with 58s because I thought Well, I'll just do a whole lot of slides and riding around and get them down to 50.
Yeah, but dude, 58 is the optimal wheel size.
I'm glad you feel that way
It's
because
an
that's what I bought.
objective truth.
Yeah, that's what I bought, and I am what I am. I said what I said.
Yep.
So I ordered these and was happy to wait for them, but then I spied that Bones has also come out. Now Powell and Bones are both Skate 1.
Yes.
And I am still presuming, even though California has such a long history of chicanery, I'm presuming that Powell and Bones are still made by Skate 1 in like Santa
Barbara,
Rosas, Clara,
Santa
Clarita,
yeah, right.
Monica,
One
not
of the
Monica.
Monica.
Yeah, I presume, I think it's Santa Rosa.
Let's look it up.
Yeah, look it up. Skate 1. I presume they're still made in the USA and all that stuff. That's important to me. I would feel disappointed and not know what to do if they aren't. That's pretty much basically the birthright of any American who cares about industry right now.
Exactly.
But so I picked up these 56 millimeter Formula X that are the guy behind the counter, really nice guy.
Yeah.
Over there at Craft Skate Shop.
That's awesome.
Blue Ash, which is a neighborhood of Cincinnati, suburb. He tells me that these are like kind of the street, little harder formula than the 58 millimeter Dragons, which
interesting.
the 58 millimeter Dragons, he tells me, I'm pulling off this. I want to read some of the ad copy.
Whoa.
Higher rebound, more speed. So they're harder and maybe enhanced slidability and grip ratio.
What ratio are we talking about? Grip to slide ratio?
Grip to slide ratio, slidability.
Dude. I want to know how they
Softer
test that.
landings, easier on the body.
On the body.
Smoother ride, less vibration on the feet. No crust too rough.
The best just got better.
Power all terrains. The best just got better.
Gosh.
Honestly, that's some very incisive, almost disrespectfully assertive ad copy.
I feel like they're saying that they're better than other companies right now.
Maybe they're telling us to skate the best.
F the rest.
Maybe.
We should write them a scathing email that says something like, if you ever say that again, etc., etc.
So I've got those in a 56. And what I like about a 56 is my tail's a little lower to the ground, so I can pop my ollies a little bit more snippily.
Skate 1 is from Goleta, California, which is right next to Ventura. It's kind of southwest of Bakersfield type deal.
I don't even know my own middle name because
it's right next to LA. It's just call it LA. It's not, but it is.
So it's LA.
Okay.
And Bones and Powell Peralta are both out of Skate 1. So now the 58 millimeter Dragons, or Dagrons, as a child might accidentally spell it.
Dagrons.
That's a mistake a kid should make.
Yeah, I'm fine.
I depend on children to be hilarious.
Yes, to be hilarious.
The cost of a good set of wheels is now up at $50, and I embrace that. I think that it's about time that things costed more, because everything costs more to make, and I support the idea of paying hard-earned American coin for quality American-made products. Boy, I hope they're made in America.
Dude, I'd be so bummed to find that they weren't.
I really do. Did they say it on here? Please, please, please. Nothing. There is no country of origin on them. All right. Now, the Powell Peralta DF93A. These are A scales, not B scales. Interesting, because the Bones wheels are... Bones wheels usually run on a B scale, the hardness scales. Not that I have studied durometers for my whole skating life, and for the life of a guy, have not emerged with any confidence that I understand what's being talked about. When I find myself in a position like that, I can't help but suspect that maybe it's a little more arbitrary than they want us to know.
Yeah.
But these are...
What do they say on there? What
V6 wide cut. V6 is their cut. You can go on Skate 1 and you can look at all their cuts. So these are 97s. This is also A scale. Bones X97.
What?
It was
Let me
there the
see
whole
it. Let me
time.
see
They're
it, dude.
97s.
Let me
These are
see it.
93s. They're back on the A scale with these.
Yeah,
Now
but
that-
sometimes they'll use the A scale to be like, we're using the B scale, but in the A scale terms,
Yes,
it's this.
there
And it's
are.
like, dude, can we just use one?
Nope.
No,
No, because,
we can't.
no, I read about this, and I swear I don't remember what
Oh,
they said, but
look at
after
that.
they were
Made in
done,
the USA.
made in the USA.
All the Bones wheels are made in Ventura, California.
All right, so they're made in the USA. How about Powell Peralta?
Let me see.
Because
Well, what do you mean? They're decks? What are we talking about?
I know that there are Powell products that are made in China. Well, they're not Powell. Their Mini logo is the Chinese brand, but Powell is supposed to be made in the United States, pressed at Skate One or some such. I've never visited. Here's the ad copy from the Dagron 58 millimeter 93A Powell Peralta Dagron wheels. Dagrons, sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
Right. Conquer, this is the ad copy. Conquer all skate terrains, exclamation point.
Okay.
Powell Peralta created Dragon Formula,
Dagron.
TM.
Hold on, the formula is called Dragon Formula?
Luke,
Dude,
honestly, a little respect.
Dude, I just feel like I'm lost in an ocean of ad copy.
You're about to learn. I'm going to have to start all over again.
Ah,
All right. Powell Peralta created Dragon Formula, TM,
trademark.
to rule them all.
That's not in there. Oh no, dude, it's in
Dude,
there.
it's in
Oh
there.
no. Oh
Powell
no.
Peralta created Dragon Formula, TM, to rule them all. Dragons are 93A soft to roll over the nastiest roads and cushion the biggest landings. Dragons, incredible 78% rebound, rolls like a 101A in parks and like an 85A on streets. Those are numbers that mean a lot to me.
Yes, because we all grew up on the A scale.
I'm sorry, I'm disrespecting the ad copy by interjecting
But,
my own
yeah,
editorial.
Please, Lou, please.
I'm sorry. I'm just as bad as Lou. Most surprising of all, Dragon Formula slides like a 99A
Wow.
and grips like a 93A when you need it.
Quinn, yeah, okay, it's fine.
Dragons will put a long-lasting smile on your face.
On your face.
On your face.
Golly, dude.
Okay. All about the new Dragon Formula wheels here, and it's got a QR code. You should hit that.
Yeah, here, let's see what
It's right here. Yeah, pull the wrap tight. Wow, these are some serious ad copy on these. And I see some stickers shaking around in there, but you know, I'm not going to open them because then I'll be juggling all the wheels. Please. And I get
this is just going to take
gripey.
Me to, oh,
I don't want to get all gripey.
Oh, I know.
Oh, Miklos Katona says, I tried them on a kid's board at a park and I wasn't very impressed. They were grippy, but they didn't really make a nice, this will be about how they sounded. Sound when I slid them.
That's hilarious. Miklos is into the sound?
I just watched a Ben DeGrosse video.
Ben DeGrosse.
Ben DeGrosse is a Canadian carpenter who's been making videos about skateboarding products and process and stuff like that and trick tips and all that. And he's quite a good skater. Not so young as a bunch of the kids are.
Yeah.
And his content is
easy.
I struggle with his content, but it's not because it's not good content.
There you go. I like it. Yeah.
It's like in the movie Zoolander, the character Derek Zoolander.
Yes.
No, it was Hansel. He's so hot right now.
He's so hot right now.
He expressed his admiration. He said, "My favorite musical artist is Sting. His music, I don't really really listen to it, but the fact that he's making it,
I respect that.
I respect that.
Yeah.
That's kind of my relationship to a lot of media out there. Because a guy is not, you're not going to just like or be able to like give some glowing review of every single thing. Don't
Yeah.
you guys realize I'm kind of, I'm kind of a little bit of an ogre. I'm not really that great a guy.
Well, I think if we get real specific about, from what I've ascertained about what you don't enjoy about the Ben DeGrosse videos, is that Ben is talking about technical skateboarding, making
manufacturing
things,
process and things like that.
And you know that intimately well because you done been doing it for like 15 years.
Yeah.
And I don't know that Ben's been doing it. He is a carpenter, so I think he has some base level knowledge. But it seemed like what bothered you is he was talking about it like an expert, and the way that he was speaking about it, you felt like lacked some technical luster.
In the words of Canada.
Okay, good.
To be fair.
To be fair.
To be fair.
To be fair.
Ben has always given, he will say, I don't really know about the blah, 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 blah.
Right.
Then he will talk for 20 minutes.
Yes.
About the blah, 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 blah.
Right.
Without bookending it again with, I don't really know about it.
Yeah.
And
we do that all the time, though. Right, don't we? We do that all the time.
Probably do.
Yeah.
Which is why there should be podcasts.
Yes.
New podcasts need to be made
every day
about how inconsistent and hypocritical
that we are.
And
then we can go back and forth.
Honestly, no. We'll just supply them with material.
We'll actually contact them and give them first draft edits that they can look at.
Absolutely. Yeah, honestly, we say so many things on a podcast because we can say what we want.
Yes.
And we aren't capable of being concerned with people's agreement with it. But yeah, so I struggle. Also, like, sometimes I have opinions that are very strong about certain things.
Yeah.
I have a long history, a lot of baggage.
Yes.
And Ben will take the soft route and be complimentary toward industry things that I'm highly incisively critical of.
Yeah.
And you know what? Watching Ben's content is part of why we are powering into this podcast.
Yes. Because we have opinions.
And it's not about Ben being wrong. I think Ben is just lovely.
Yeah.
I do. And I think he makes good content.
Yes.
But yeah, anyways, so
that being said,
I got these wheels. I'm going to roll them out. I've got a couple of sets of bearings.
You know what? I think that Aaron might have bought me a set of those wheels, and I rode them, and I recall feeling like these are the best wheels that I've ever ridden in my life.
I've heard that from several people. So yes. I'm always, when I was first getting into the skateboarding industry, I came into contact with a lot of people just as a guy who was in it. I don't know why I met so many people. I don't have name dropping ability, like I don't know these people, but I got to have lots of conversations with the California end of things. And I know what I wanted to talk about. Ben DeGrosse just did a thing on bearings.
Oh, how was it?
I thought it was quite good. He was talking about whether or not to put spacers in the bearings.
Okay.
The spacers that come in between your bearings.
That everybody just throws away.
I have a whole thing about these because my good friend Bud Stratford over at Zeppelin Aero Works, also a big thanks to Zeppelin Aero Works for sending me a Deutschland. Yep. And also I have this little zipper out there in the truck that we're going to bring in and show everyone later on. Ben touched on what I thought was a major part.
Okay.
He touched on that you're depending on the wheel to be machined at high precision. And they should be. They should be.
Right.
The mold for the wheel should have the bearing seats in a very precise alignment.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
So that when you put the spacer between, there's no misalignment of one bearing to the other.
Yes.
If there is, then the whole purpose is done. And what he did was he put bearing spacers in, and then he tightened the wheels up. You should be able to have them all the way cranked tight, and the wheel should roll freely.
Oh.
And it didn't. On 2, 3, 1 of his 4 wheels.
Okay.
And it could be because the alignment wasn't perfect on The molds.
Yes.
Okay. It could have been something else.
Well, isn't that assuming that the spacer is going to be as wide as the inside length of the?
Is the inside distance,
Yes.
the spacer seat,
From
exactly as
yes,
wide or narrow as it's supposed to be?
yes, or
And
as the spacer itself, right?
so variations in the mold making for wheels
Yes.
could render spacers, could make it so your spacers are actually slowing you down by snugging your bearings against their races and destroy your bearings.
Yeah.
The other thing is, these things are not going into space, and when you don't have spacers and you aren't clamped down like that,
Mm-hmm.
you are allowing the rebound of the wheel to reset the alignment to the
Yes.
best it can be.
Yes.
Yes, you're going to get chatter and you're going to have, but again, these things are not as high tech as we all wish that they were. The fact that they're made with robot child slave labor
Oh no.
and like that in foreign countries
Yeah.
doesn't mean that they're going to be better than if they were made carefully in small batches in a workshop by folks like at Life Skateboards making decks.
If
All right.
you could find somebody who was making like small batch wheels for skateboarders, how much would you be willing to pay?
I would not be willing to pay terribly much more because wheels wear out so quickly.
What if it was $55 a set or
That's fine.
$60 a set, American made? You knew the person who was making them.
Yeah.
They were great wheels.
I paid $50 for this set.
I would pay 75 then.
Yeah, I paid $50 for this set.
Yeah.
And I don't mind that.
Yeah.
Now,
Go
what
ahead.
happened with Ben DeGrosse
Go
was
ahead.
very interesting
Okay.
because he made a big deal,
Mhm.
and not like he wasn't like being silly or dumb or anything, but he actually, one of the major emphases was on what a bummer it is that when you do a slide on your board with spacers, it doesn't chatter. You don't get the
What? Is that true?
I don't know.
That can't be true. That's not the wheat.
He kind of demonstrated it, and it
Oh.
seems like it was the case.
Interesting.
I think I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt, and I'm not going to do a 15 board thing to see whether I'll get wheel chatter on a slide. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not going to be able to pull that off.
That's so funny.
But I saw that the major thrust of his argument was about wheel chatter and just what a bummer it is that you don't get chatter on the board. And also when you drop it down, it goes dook, 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 dook. There's not chatter.
Oh.
Because your wheels are tight.
Yeah, they're tight.
Your bearing sets are tight.
Right.
And it's not as fun.
Yeah.
And also when it doesn't shake, you don't get any
sure.
shucker.
Yeah.
And I thought it was fine. That's a fine perspective. But for me, I'm like, look, these are actually there's lower fidelity in the mold making process than is going to provide the ability to cinch these down with a spacer. Now, Bud Stratford over at Zeppelin, he's passionate.
Yes.
This is a system that was made to be put together like this.
Yeah.
And I don't think he's wrong. It is made for that.
Yeah.
And it should work.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't work, I guess you could send your wheels back.
Yeah.
Bud seems to have had great success with that. Honestly, I put spacers in and don't put spacers in, and I found that with a spacer in my wheel, I have still, when I tighten it down, it doesn't roll freely.
Yeah.
I just loosen it out, and I find it's better not to run spacers because I save some weight, and that way,
Oh my gosh, dude.
my nollie tray bombs.
Your nollie tray. If you ever do a nollie tray bomb, I will give you $100.
So
if I ever do a nollie tray bomb, I'll give myself $100.
I need to put some fishing weights in the
dude.
So,
just a moment of silence for whatever his name is. Can't remember his
Rodney
name.
Mullen.
Rodney Mullen. Yeah.
Weights on his trucks.
Dude.
It's fine. It's fine.
I mean, yeah.
That's just not where I'm at. And you know what? Good for you and good for everybody who gets stoked by that.
Yeah.
Ben DeGrosse makes his content for a certain group of people who are really enjoying it. And I think it's terrific, and I wish him the success, and I hope that he keeps making it. But I could start a whole channel of Ben DeGrosse rebuttals.
Yeah.
I really could. But the problem is I'm such an ogre.
You're really not that bad.
I feel like springboarding off of another guy's work in a critical spirit is just It's not a winner at life.
Yeah, it's like parasitical in nature. It's like,
But I
yeah.
think we all know I'll do it anyway. We do. I'm the worst guy in Cincinnati.
I forgot. Yeah, I forgot about that.
I've got a reputation to live up to.
Yes. At least you're
So,
somebody, you know.
I just,
Good for you.
so yeah, happy to have these 2 new sets of wheels, but I'm even happier to have Craft Skate Shop. Looks like it holds a prospect for being a really good skate shop in my area, and my heart really goes out to skate shop owners, and I'm going to be going there regularly and picking up something as often as I can.
Absolutely.
And I hope if you're in the Cincinnati area that you'll go check out Craft Skate Shop and just buy something off the wall. He's got 2 Dogtown decks on the wall right now.
Dang.
They have Old Man Square Edge.
Okay.
They look fun as heck.
Yeah.
They really do. They're flat.
Oh.
Pretty flat.
Yeah.
I like him. He's got a scallop type of shape, and he's got an old Dogtown label shape. He's got some egg-shaped boards in there.
I do enjoy a nice egg shape. Life has a nice egg shaped board that I enjoy.
Life has a good egg-shaped board. He's got a heroin board in there. Now, this is not about that skate shop, but he's got a heroin board in there. And you guys know my hackles rise about heroin being called heroin. As much as I love Foss, Mr. Foster, who runs heroin, and what he's done, I mean, he's gotten in touch with the Osaka Daggers crew, and he's really, really lent a hand to promote diversity of style and just skateboarding for fun. I agree with Foss very, very much about so much of what he's doing.
Yeah.
That my hackles rise, they always will. I have too many dead friends to be just chill with something being called heroin.
Yeah.
But darn it, not only has Foss kind of shot straight down the line into the fun lane and the diversity of style lane and just skateboarding being about skateboarding and fun, but he also has really brought out the egg-shaped boards. And these are not like 90s egg-shaped football boards, which Life also has a football shape.
Okay.
We have both an egg shape and a football shape, and there is a difference. Do I know what the difference is? No.
I'm gonna look it up right now.
But I'm here, and I'm gonna give it all I got.
Yeah, hammer
That's
down.
another thing that Hansel said in Zoolander.
I'm here. I'm gonna give it all I got.
I'm here, but I'm gonna give it all I got. So, anyways, but the egg shape he has there is a really interesting shape.
Yes.
Life has it too. It's way different with Life because it has great concave with Life. Although I can't complain about the concave I'm seeing on a lot of the boards on the wall. Concaves have deepened.
Yeah, I mean, maybe
I'm really happy
it
about
seems it really does appear that there's been a shift away from like the core 90s dealio inside of the skateboarding culture in general. The floodgates have opened. The domain is much wider, longer, has more depth. It certainly is true.
Back when the barracks rules.
Yeah.
This is no joke.
Go ahead.
Like the barracks rules and the game of skate was for a solid 10 years, I guess, a really heavy thing.
Yes.
And if you didn't, well, there was the whole come correct or don't come at all ethos in skateboarding.
Yeah.
Even in our days.
Yes.
You know, like, that was literally a tagline of a skate shop. Like the big magnate, big boy skate shop was like, come correct or don't come at all, was like the way of it in the 90s. And then a bunch of kids in high water pants with cuffs at the bottom.
That's exactly what happened, dude.
Bunch of kids in high water cuffs.
Yeah.
They came out and began to go on Instagram.
Yes.
I tell you, man, it's like they built this thing to stop the water and the water just flowed around it. All these Instagram guys, and I'm talking so talented.
Yes. Tiny Hat Bros.
They killed it. They killed it.
Yeah.
These floodwater kids, it was probably around 2012.
No.
Yeah.
No, dude, it had to have been 2015 or 16.
I'll go with that. I'll go with that.
2012 seems so early.
I'll go with that.
They're like no complying and like doing bonelesses. And, yeah, and they're always like bottle flipping to a boneless.
And actually, there's a clip of me skating with the Stanley Boys.
Yes. Oh, those guys were like the OG.
Yes.
Dude, OG Tiny Hat guys.
The Stanley Boys.
Maybe you're right,
I sponsored them.
Yeah.
You know, and they embodied this amazing talent with this quirky, especially Coke bottles.
Yes, dude.
Especially Coke bottle Stanley.
Yes.
He, it's so lovely. It's so low. And they even did a video with me in it,
Yeah.
just carving around down at Ed Austin Park in Jacksonville. And they bottle flipped.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. It's like a
Yeah.
part of the deal. It was like
That era,
Gen X hitting the scene, or Gen Z.
that's why we have a 93A wheel.
Yeah.
You would never, if you had gone and said, do you have 93s? They'd be like, no, man, you want Spitfire Classics.
Yeah, what are you,
You
crazy?
don't want that.
Right.
You want this, man, deluxe. Right?
Yeah.
And those days aren't behind us. They're still with us.
Right.
That lane is as much skateboarding as any other lane. It's now just not, it's not going to be able to demand the same amount of respect in a cultural diversity that's really blown up. I couldn't be more pleased about that. You got Andy Anderson going on. You've got Chris Height.
Yeah. Is he the guy who skates the big shaped decks but does rail tricks?
Chris Height is, we've said his name, Hyatt.
Okay.
He skates for Powell.
Mm-hmm.
He rides the size board, the reissue with like a 3-inch nose.
Yes.
And flat as a board.
And he's doing like backside lip slides.
He does everything.
Yeah,
he does all of the flip tricks. He does all of the rail tricks. He does every single thing. And there's another guy who's glommed onto Powell. DeVille Nunez's channel and Dan Corrigan's channel have these guys in them.
Yeah, it's so cool.
And you've got now John Hill did a 10-minute, 11-minute video in which he said, you know what I'm going to do? I love John.
You said his voice perfectly.
He said, awesome. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do all of the tricks that Christopher Height. But everyone says Hyatt.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do all the tricks that Christopher Height does on those boards. Oh, no. He says, I'm going to do all the tricks that he had like all these nollie tricks, nollie flip tricks and nose grind variations and all sorts of stuff. And sure enough, he did them. I think he did it all in one day.
Dang, dude.
Yeah. He dialed them all in. And at the end of the video, he said, you know what? This was fun. I liked it.
Oh, that's awesome. Good for him,
he's like, I'm not going to change up necessarily what I ride, but this is really doable.
Yeah.
Whereas go back 15 years and a guy goes in and says, can I get one of those old school boards, maybe new old stock or whatever? And no, you don't want that. Be some, whack, some hip hop slur.
Yeah, that's right. Some hip hop slur.
Barney, a Buster.
There it is.
A Mark. If you were called a Barney, a Buster, or a Mark in my sphere here, that was like the end of your life.
It's like paramount to death, right?
It was like you were ostracized. You were a pariah.
Yes.
And then now we go out skating and people show up on those boards and it's just lovely.
They're having a great time.
It is. They're having a great time.
Yeah.
And that's what makes me want to skate more.
Yes.
When someone is having fun.
Yes. 100%, dude.
Come on.
So here's the question, which is that we have held that it appears that skateboarding is dying again, but also it's not.
Well, first of all, if we said it, it's probably wrong.
Oh, dude, I like that stance. You're right.
Let's immediately understand that doing a podcast is simply collecting opportunities to eat our own words. Okay. Let's not get confused. Sitting here, we can say what we want. And a lot of it is going to be incorrect. But our goal is not to be authorities.
Yeah.
Our goal is to promote conversation.
Sure.
And yes, we opined through our own visual evidences that, geez, nobody's out here.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it has been true. Absolutely. There's nobody at the skate parks.
I also know that there's been a downturn in the overall industry. Yes. I know that too. There's been a consolidation of brands. Holding companies have bought up a lot of brands. They pump and dump.
Yeah.
Right. We saw it with Dwindle, and then we saw it with Enjoy, and that is going on.
Yeah.
But what's expanding right now is cultural.
Oh, it's actually interesting.
The diversity of styles. We are seeing freestyle getting mainstreamed.
Yeah.
Not just freestyle tricks done in the street.
Yeah.
But straight up freestyle. I saw on YouTube the other day and it had a lot of views. This crew in Japan that runs this freestyle game. Holy cannolis. That was amazing.
That's awesome.
These kids are absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
And it was Johnny Giger.
Yeah.
Went out to Japan to skate with these people. And they were just so disciplined and had accomplished so much.
Yeah.
and it looked so cool.
Yeah,
And I can only think of Tony Gale and Bob Lofton
I know.
and how pleased the freestyle community must be
I know.
at what has to be an explosion
Yes.
in their numbers
Right.
and involvement. You
Right.
know, I know Bud Stratford is starting a new magazine, and it looks like the first issue is going to come out
Soonish.
sometime in the next couple months here,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like 400 pages.
400 pages?
It's because it's large formatted
Yeah.
for phone reading.
Oh,
And
cool.
it covers all the disciplines.
I love it.
Also, we have to do an ad for that.
We should just pull a. Yeah, okay, we got it.
Can we do that?
Yeah, this has to be possible.
I don't know.
I'll put it on. I'll have my people get with your people.
Also, he wanted Life to get in there too.
Well, oh,
He actually reached out to Sam, but Sam's on vacation.
Sam, please.
It's fine. We got it. We'll talk to Casper.
Oh, you're right.
Casper can help us. Help himself.
Yeah.
All right. So lovely. Love the diversity,
Yeah.
including in styles and product. I mean, this is sick. This is really fun.
Yeah.
I think it means good things, and it stokes me up to go and skate my 11-inch wide.
Is that 11?
It's 10.75. Hand it to me. This is the board that I ride. It's the Panhead XL from Life Skateboards,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a big one. It's a big one. It's 10.75, basically 11 inches of glorious maple.
Yes.
With the Life concave, deep and good. No apologies about how good that concave is.
No, sir.
And I don't know.
There's room for activities.
There's room for it has. That's from Step Brothers.
Yeah, we got so much room for
We have
activities.
so much room for activities.
There's like an 8-inch nose on that bad boy.
It is a 7.5-inch nose.
Let me
and
ask you this.
7.2-inch tail.
Do you measure it from the front truck holes, or do you measure it from the beginning of the vectored concave?
From the front truck holes out. It looks like an 8.
It's massive. Show the camera.
You people can't understand.
You people can't understand
size. You people.
Of course, the rings.
And then like that.
Yeah.
Do we have to do the rings?
No. I knew.
Up in the camera. All right, there. That's good. Right. Send rings.
Send rings.
Send me biker rings. I love rings.
Hey, Mom, it's us. Send rings.
Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad. Send rings. Preferably silver.
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
Gosh.
All right. But stainless steel, no gold. Silver or stainless steel.
Why not gold?
I don't want gold.
Why not?
Because my gold ring is my wedding ring.
It's fine.
That's right. And I bought that wedding ring in 1992. And I can't believe it hasn't worn out.
Let me see. Is mine thick? Is mine? Yeah, it's a little bit bigger than yours, I think.
Yeah. I wanted a bigger wedding ring.
And yet.
But I don't think that it matters anymore.
No.
I don't. I
No.
don't think wearing a wedding ring is something that will ward off evil spirits. I think that it has begun to attract evil spirits.
It's actually done the opposite.
I'm not worried about evil spirits.
No, me neither.
Yeah, because it says in the word of the scripture to guard your heart, for from it are the springs of your life.
Mm.
Your heart is so important, and that's something that I'm real into. I'm real into guarding my heart.
Yeah.
Making sure that I keep that little sucker wrangled in.
Yes, sir.
Wrangle that little sucker in there.
Yes, sir.
So there's that old saying, the heart wants what the heart wants.
Yeah.
Well,
fuck that.
Yep.
Sorry.
Yep.
Sorry.
Seriously. I'll tell you what, the heart wants what my mind tells it.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that our minds are what's important, and I've turned my mind on pilgrimage.
Yes.
Toward Jerusalem.
Yes.
So that's where I'm at.
The Celestial City.
The Celestial City. That's a great book. The Incredible Journey. Is that what it's called?
The Pilgrim's Progress.
Pilgrim's Progress.
Yeah.
The children's book of it is The Incredible
Yes. You know what? When I was a kid, we used to have that on tape, like cassette tape, and I'd listen to it. And I remember it being pretty impactful even then.
It was a big deal.
Compelling story to listen to, even on tape.
It was a big deal in my son Aaron's life. We used to read it.
Really?
Like every night.
That's cool.
The one with the pictures?
Yes.
It's a great book. I want to get a copy of it to read myself, because the lessons of the Pilgrim's Progress continue to be necessary. In fact, I don't know if I own a copy of the Pilgrim's Progress in my home right now. I need to take care of that.
Yeah, that would be good.
All right.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
No, please don't be.
Yeah.
This is what we do. We get in here and we just mix it up.
Yeah, it's fine. Just looking at all your books.
I don't want our podcast to be about podcasting.
At the same time.
At the same time, we are a new podcast.
Yeah, to be fair.
And I think it's interesting, the things that we are learning and then ignoring because we don't have enough money to buy that right now.
Or time
and
to
I'm not
spend.
complaining.
Yeah.
But we were reached out to by a young man.
Yes.
Who is a ripping skater and a good-hearted bloke.
Yeah.
In Indiana this week.
Mm-hmm.
And he runs an operation called Catch Wind Clothing Company.
Oh yeah.
And Corey,
yes,
Romiser at Catch Wind, just called me up to give us encouragement.
Yeah, it's super kind.
It was super kind
and encouraging. Yeah.
I met Corey in Louisville a few weeks ago and am so excited to have a friendship with him. He called me up and he said that he knows a bunch of podcastery folks who I just saw a comment come up.
I was just reading it. Oh, on glues. He said blues, but it's glues.
Okay, so that's Ben DeGrosse territory. To talk about glue.
Miklos, just reach out to Ben.
No, I'll tell you what I'll do is I'll talk about glue after we talk about this.
Yes, go ahead.
Phone
yeah,
call.
go ahead. Go ahead.
So this phone call was so encouraging, and he said that he had some friends and that they could loan us some of their old stuff or sell us a full setup.
Yeah.
And turns out we don't have $700. We have like $400.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
It's fine.
We don't have a laptop, and we're not asking you to send one.
Yeah, it's fine.
But I mean, by saying that.
Yeah, I mean, come on. You got one banging around. Come on. Yeah, come on.
You got a good laptop banging around.
Yeah, if it's burning a hole in your pocket.
But yeah, we'll drive out and skate with you and pick up the laptop.
Yeah, high fives.
Sounds like Alabama or something.
Come
on, dude, we could do that.
Dude, we could do that.
That would be an epic road trip.
That would be.
Can you bring the baby?
I probably
could. Dude, I saw Luke's baby last night.
You got a face.
He's looking around now.
I know.
Bro, I'm like, we should just take him everywhere.
I've been trying to take him places.
Yeah, man. Dude, take him everywhere.
If he can hit like 6 months, a year, I think it's game on for like all the time, everywhere. Just take him with me.
When Seth was... He was
4, 3.
No, he was like 3 months old.
Mm-hmm.
Some short number of lifespan. He may have been 2 months old.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he was 8 months old. I can't remember, but sometime well within his first year. Little infant.
Yeah, little.
We just went to Paris.
Yeah, with my wife, I'd take him anywhere. That's totally fine. I'm not even bothered by that idea at all.
Yeah. Like,
absolutely.
Oh, dude, I don't know about us just taking a baby, you and me. We might forget him.
Dude. Bro.
So anyways.
Just thinking about the chaos that would be.
It was really nice that Corey reached out to us.
And he said he has a bunch of podcasters. He knows the podcast world, right? And he said that we're doing really well. And was that the...
Well, he did compliment the improvement of not having my lav mic in my mouth.
Yes.
He said that took the crackle out of it.
That's awesome.
I'm so dumb.
It's fine.
I never listened to it.
Well,
we just put it out there. It was enough of an act of will to just exert it into existence, you know.
Right.
And so, but I did listen to it, and I did recognize the crackle, and I moved down to a spot on this dread here that I'll name Benny for today. So,
but he said the number of views that we had was substantial for a small podcast.
He told me that most podcasts only go 7 episodes before they're done.
Yeah, and we have this is episode 69.
69. And we had, at the time, I figured we were about 100 listens a week.
Yeah,
me too. I think that's pretty normal for us. And he said that's actually really good.
Yeah.
And then I looked that day after I hung up with him.
Mm-hmm.
And we had 323 at that moment.
Yeah,
and it's down in the 200s now,
which is fine.
But we're not into looking at all that analytics too closely because we barely know what we're doing. And we're happy that you may have chosen to listen this far on what could be a long-term you know, it could be really cool to
Yes.
listen back. You know, when Joe Rogan started his podcast, and his is probably the
No, it's definitely
biggest.
the number one. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All he was an iPhone on the table, and those were great episodes.
Yes.
And in hotel rooms and stuff, he just stuck the iPhone on the table and just went for it.
Yeah.
And I think that is just a story that I think is rad.
Yeah, me too, man.
So I'm happy to talk about that. And the other thing is, I listened to The Bunt.
No.
I did it again. I put it on the way home from Craft Skate Shop. On the way here today.
I'm just processing the information right now.
Luke, you have to listen to it.
No, I don't want to, dude.
Luke.
I want somebody, I'm legitimately interested. Please email us at CapmLew@gmail.com, because make an argument, change my mind, prove me wrong. The Bunt is the worst podcast ever. And I love those guys. They seem like genuinely super nice dudes. I'd love to meet them and skate with them. But the dude,
I feel like a day will come when the guys on the Bunt will punch me right in the face. Because no, I'm not gonna not talk about things.
I mean, how was it?
Luke, it was remarkable.
Worth remarking. Dude.
I realized that we could play bingo on the Bunt.
Okay.
I think I'm going to
like create
develop
words and situations. Yes, bingo.
For example, one of the bingos would be in the house. Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Things like that.
It's like all this pseudo gangster rap, weirdo.
Also, a bingo square would be awarded for the use of a tagger style pseudonym.
Pseudonym. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that the use of a tagger name.
Yeah, like the Clink or.
Yes.
Yeah, like something. Right. Yeah, like that. Yeah.
Like on Parks and Rec,
yeah,
they've got those two jock shocks.
Yes,
the shock jocks.
Yeah.
Crazy Ira and the douche.
The douche. Yeah,
it's so
it's such a good, dude.
So good.
The douche.
Yeah, and it's so funny.
And
Crazy Ira and the douche.
And it turns out that Crazy Ira actually has like a master's degree in like communication or something. Is a really cool dude.
But the douche, the douche is the one who's in multiple episodes.
Yeah, dude.
He's like Councilman Jam.
Yeah.
You know, it's like a similar,
that guy's the worst.
Like completely,
yeah.
Like if you think about it, you know, and don't get me started on Purd Happily.
Oh, dude, Purd. You heard with Purd.
So I really was interesting because they had a guest.
Who?
I don't remember.
Okay.
I blocked it out.
Yeah, I just erased it.
It was really strong, and it did show like generationally. You know, Lou is. I'm not ashamed of the fact that I'm kind of a curmudgeon.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah, sure.
And I'm like, wow, get off my lawn. You know, like
yeah,
I don't
right.
mind. I don't mind that critique or that
Sure.
criticism of my perspective. Although I'm not acting like one right now.
No.
I'm showing a little more maybe moderation or self-awareness of the thing.
Sure.
But I have not liked the cultural impact of hip hop. In skateboarding. I'm a surfer.
Yeah.
Not that I surf, but my skateboarding is built on the old roots of skateboarding.
Yeah.
In surfing.
Yeah.
And that just shows.
Yeah.
Here now I'm in that stage of life where I'm beginning to take it down a notch.
Yeah.
You know, it's like I warm up for an hour and then I just keep doing the same stuff I warmed up on.
Yes.
Except now it doesn't hurt.
Yes, right.
You know, and I'm not ollieing over a whole bunch of things.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not jumping real high, and if I can't jump up it, I won't jump down it.
Right. Yeah.
If I can't run out of it without, you know, blowing out my
both
my
knees.
MCL, PCL,
yeah, right.
ACL,
yeah,
you know.
Right.
I just, and if I can't, what is that? I've got to know when to hold them and know when to fold them.
Right.
You know.
Know when to walk away.
Yeah, and so
know when to run.
I'm not in peak physical condition. But I'm loved by my creator.
Yeah.
I have a wonderful matrimonial arrangement of some 32 years.
Yeah.
I've been granted the immense privilege of of accompanying the creation and training of human progeny.
Yeah.
You
Right.
know,
Yeah.
my sons are men. They all lived
Yeah.
into this time of life.
Yeah.
And I have dead friends. I have friends who can't skate anymore because they blew themselves out.
Oh,
Um, and so I'm a low talent, low intensity soldier
yeah.
of just surf style skateboarding. I like to have room for activities
Yes.
on my board.
Yeah.
And I love the soulful, meaningful production of boards in workshops by people who pick up the phone
Yeah.
and who care about those things.
Yeah.
And I started the makers movement, you know, and Mike Villalobos took it and created the art of board making.
Yep.
Which the logo of it is this picture of me that Wayne Wells of the Welfare Line actually made.
It's over.
Yeah, it's over
you
there,
can't
and
see it. It's fine.
it's a great piece of art, and I think it'll be our logo for CapmLew.
You want me to pull it down?
Yeah, see if we can extract it. I don't mind a little edge damage.
Here.
It's okay. Yeah, here's the picture. This is the painting of it, and I think we'll take this and make it into the CapmLew logo with you know, like I think we'll keep Rocco, my dog Rocco, on that.
Yeah.
But hey, look how crisp that video is. That's crisper than the Facebook Live. But yeah, so and it even has my Neil Blender tattoo.
I know.
I've got a Neil Blender tattoo, and it even has that. And that's funny because I never liked Neil's board. It had too narrow a waist on it back in the day when it was made by G&S. But yeah, stick it across the Breaking Bad. Oh, that's great. Superb. Got to keep it in the shot.
Dude, get in the shot.
So anyways,
yeah.
The
hip hop influence.
The hip hop influence. What I do not mind rhythm.
No.
I don't mind rhyme. I don't mind poetry.
Mm-hmm.
But I am opposed to what has now become a highly consequential and relatively rampant anti-intellectualism.
Yes.
It's not smart to be cool by being dumb on purpose.
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah.
So there are hip hop artists that I enjoy very much.
Me too. I like good hip hop.
But the mainstream culture of hip hop it ought to be critiqued.
And it makes sense that hip hop and skateboarding would kind of go hand in hand because they both have like a countercultural kind of FU to the world vibe going on. But I just
is skateboarding countercultural?
At its root, it wishes that it was, I think. And I guess to some degree it is. There's a kind of an antisocial aspect to it to some degree at its core, and some of its core values.
Used to be. When I first started skateboarding, you got a lot of like, what are you going to do with your life?
Yeah,
you know?
Right.
And I want to rock.
Yeah,
you know, like,
right. Yeah.
Like you got a lot of
just another type of game.
I have surfed, by the way.
Yeah.
I have.
Dude, surfing's amazing.
One time.
Yes, and how did you get up on the board?
I did.
Good for you, dude. It's really hard to do.
It is hard to do. And I was on a short board.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I was on a little short board.
Yeah.
I did get up. I also put a ding in another guy's board.
Oh, bro.
Yeah, my board scooted out from under me. It did one of those and dinged his board.
Go back to the valley.
I should have gone back to the valley. Val Kook.
Val Kook.
I should have. So I will remain your source for incisive critique of the exaltation of it's not, I don't mean to, calling something stupid is not what I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to dismiss this thing I'm describing. I'm actually trying to engage it.
Yes. What did you say? What did you call it a second ago? I thought that was a really
anti-intellectual.
Yes, anti-intellectual.
I'm engaging.
Ignorant on purpose.
I'm engaging.
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
Because and there's also pseudo-intellectual.
Yeah.
Which I think that KRS-One is pseudo-intellectual.
KRS-One.
Yeah, he's a great example of someone that in the hip hop culture and history that is considered to be. He's considered to be this intellectual
figurehead.
Yes,
right.
A real magnate of intellectual. But what he really is doing is he's spouting 5%er indoctrination.
Yeah.
Which is which is Gnosticism, and
Yeah.
it's, in my opinion, it's toxic garbage. Do I love KRS-One as a human being? Do I recognize
Yeah.
his value and his belovedness of the creator and all the basics?
Yeah.
Yes, I
Heck
do.
yeah, buddy.
When I say that your ideas are not great, I'm not saying that you aren't fearfully and wonderfully made. I'm not
Yeah.
saying that you aren't important enough
Yeah.
for the Son of God to die for you on the cross and rise again to give you the open gates.
Yeah.
You know, but I am saying that no, yeah, though that's garbage.
When you, I
yeah.
recall listening to the one with Cater Silla, Cater Williams, whatever his name is.
Cater
And
Silla.
I,
It was tough.
well, let me ask you this. If
was
I
a rough
remember
one.
correctly, in the beginning, in their like intro, they were communicating in a certain way that was not that hip hop style. And then when they began the interview, they just like
Yes.
clicked on.
I
And
don't.
that really bothered me. Was that true? I can't remember.
So what we're talking about is contrivance.
Yes. And
When a person is,
unauthentic.
yeah,
Yes.
when
Inauthentic.
when a person is inauthentic, or
Yeah.
when a person appears to be inauthentic or
Yeah.
contrived.
Right.
A lot of times, you know what I like to do? I like to turn the volume down on things.
Yeah. Just go to sleep.
I do this on YouTube. No, I'll put a YouTube on and I'll turn the volume down for 10 or 20 seconds and I'll ask this question. What are the nonverbals of this person telling me?
That's a good,
There's
that's awesome.
There's a well-known YouTuber whom I will not name.
Okay.
Who produces a lot of content and has had a good career in YouTube, and I'm glad because
Mm-hmm.
their content is overall a very, very positive contribution.
Yeah.
And in their early career, for some years, their nonverbals exhibited what I interpreted, very subjective,
Mm-hmm.
but I interpreted apprehension, fear,
Sure.
anger.
Yeah.
There was a lot going on in that person that didn't match the words they were saying and the topics they were treating.
Sure.
And it caused me to feel like almost a paternal
Yeah.
concern
Sure. For
that
them.
person.
Yeah.
And I dropped them a few comments and things that were just trying to be encouraging, and be positive.
Sure.
And they may or may not have been YouTubers that I've heckled in the past.
Yeah.
I'll heckle.
Yeah,
Everyone
come on,
everyone
man.
should. There should be plenty of heckling.
I wish we got a little bit more heckling.
Well, I feel like that is what I intend. I mean, heckle is like what we're doing. We're not heckling the bunt. We're raising a concern with the bunt purports
Mm-hmm.
to be the #1 skateboarding podcast.
I wonder where it lands per views. They can't be more than the 9 Club, I would assume.
I wonder why they would proudly announce in their first minute that they are the #1 skateboarding podcast, brought to you by the #1 skateboarding shoe, Vans.
Yeah, okay.
Like that's big stuff.
How is Vans sponsoring the bunt?
Yeah, the
dude?
bunt
That
is
is
filled with
wild.
profanity, and it's
Wild.
filled with very pro pharmakeia.
Yeah.
Very pro recreational use
Yeah.
of marijuana by even underage. The Cater Silla episode
Dude.
straight up encouraged. There was no degree to which there was any responsibility given to the medical reality that heavy marijuana, regular marijuana use, even light, before age 25 can lead to serious lifelong impairment.
Yes, 100%, dude. Very scary.
It's not a 100% chance you'll be impaired,
right?
But it is. I think it's a 700% increase.
Yeah,
which still can be a relatively remote risk.
Sure.
But a 700% increase in some serious lifelong, like, big issues.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
I don't have the data in front of me, so I'm not going to start doing that.
Yeah.
But it's serious enough that we should care.
Yes. 100%.
If we have a big media platform, it's kind of, we're responsible to that.
Yeah, and at least have a conversation about it.
There should be conversations about it, and also sponsors should care about the example that their riders are putting out in the world. We've stacked up enough dead friends that it's time to address. Sponsors should care about the example that's going out in the world, not just to children, but to big children too. Yeah. Kids and big kids all need to be encouraged, or at least not discouraged, in moderation.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, sobriety and moderation are extremely good virtues.
Yes.
So That's what I thought about that.
Yeah,
We can say what we want.
yeah, we can say what we want. I'm still just mind blown that the bunt is sponsored by Vans.
Is it very profane,
Y-
and they also are not high on um, believable sincerity and authenticity.
Yeah, and like, dude, I mean, okay, to be fair, I only listened to the Cater Silla episode, and I got through maybe 45 minutes of it just to really let it wash over me. And it was a really bad episode. But that's partly because Cater is totally marijuana addled in his mind, it appears to be.
But
That
all they had was praise and
yes,
adulation for the
and not
guy.
only that, the other thing that bothered me is under the current of all that was them kind of making fun of Cater. I really felt like they were mocking him. They were laughing with him, but kind of at him.
I don't like that.
And I don't like that
I don't
either.
like
So
that.
I wonder if I took another listen at a couple other episodes, if I might
It's im-
change my mind a
it's
little bit. But
important. It's important that we do that. That's
yeah,
why I was listening to the bunt, because I
yeah,
thought, I'm very curious about skateboard media.
yeah,
Very happy about the Everything Skateboarding magazine that's
yes,
coming out.
yes,
Really reaches back in the past and attempts to give us some more foundations in the history of skateboarding.
yeah,
This question that kicked us off was, is skateboarding countercultural? It is not. It was. Skateboarding was, I don't want to play on the football team. I don't want to do what they say I should do. I don't want to wear what they say I should wear. I'm riding skateboards, and there was no prospect of a successful mainstream life if you
sure,
were a dedicated skateboarder. You did it because you loved it,
yeah,
and it tightened in the 90s with the look what I can do.
yeah,
Now I've earned my way in.
yeah,
Very ugly culture, very ugly. The
yeah,
come correct or don't come at all
yes,
culture. Oh, if you're good enough, you can be one of us. That gave us some of the worst leadership in media and industry and culture that we ever could have had.
yeah,
We have had some terrible, terrible cultural leaders in skateboarding. But now, and I'm going back to them high water kids with the no complies and the
yeah,
bonelesses. I'm going back to the Welcome
yeah.
was a brand,
Or enjoy,
Enjoy
don't you
was
think?
weird.
Yeah,
Enjoy really no, because Enjoy, everything they did, they like got a pass because Mark Johnson was no kook.
no, but Louis
No,
Barletta was kind of he wasn't he I
Louis
they
Barletta was so good
yeah that they couldn't
that
call him a kook.
then he was able to do silly things, and he
Yes.
had a persona. He
Hmm.
fit in the ecosystem as a clown. You can have a court jester, but you can't have 100 court jesters.
Sure. Right.
You can't have everyone make fun of the king, but you
Yeah.
can have one guy. And Louis did not make fun of any kings.
No.
Um, and also, they were the piss drunk crew. They were
Yeah,
the
that
tilt
sucks.
mode
Yeah.
crew,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Sure.
that was all about the culture of dissipation and dying on a couch one day.
Yeah.
Prove me wrong. You know, change my mind,
Yeah.
because
Sure.
so they affirmed the party culture, and they checked all the boxes of the come correct culture,
Yeah.
and then they did fun stuff.
Yeah. No,
And
I
but
I I agree with that.
but the yeah,
I still think that skateboarding is somewhat countercultural, especially if you do it when you're older. I think that's really where it's a little bit still
so
weird for people. Like if you're 40 and skate and you tell your coworkers that you do that, there's kind
yeah,
of this like, okay, that's kind of weird, you know?
I
Like,
can imagine
don't
that
you think?
you work with a bunch of West Side Cincinnati people.
Dude, I do,
You
dude.
do. So maybe in some of the conservative, if you were on at a board meeting, but that's mainstreaming too. In fact, I think now it won't be long, or it already is in some places, that if your coworkers on the board figure out that you skate, they may
Yeah,
actually admire you.
that's true.
They
And that
may actually admire you.
I
And
think that may be why skateboarding is still connected to the hip hop culture in an attempt to kind of get back to the roots of being so countercultural, being so like
but is hip hop countercultural?
I
I don't think so.
yeah, I guess you're
I
right.
don't think so,
They like to
because
play act. All of
they
all of these like to play act as if
that's
they
right.
are, but largely they're not. You're
That's
right
right.
there. You're
I
actually
don't think
correct.
that hip hop is countercultural anymore.
Hmm.
I think that hip hop and a lot of the underpinnings of mainstream, what they call rap,
Rap.
I think they're extremely. I mean, when like P. Diddy and Snoop Dogg are appearing with a former president and going to a party.
Yeah, I guess
They're partying with
insane.
presidents. They're in the houses
Yeah,
of power.
I know. You're right.
I'm not buying that that's countercultural at
What
all.
is right now? I can't even.
I'll tell you. You know
Go
who's
ahead.
countercultural right now?
Christians?
And it's kind of sad. I wish.
It's a little bit countercultural
I think
right
a
now,
lot of
especially in
the
younger.
a lot of the Christian deal is just trying to capture culture and get power.
But if you tell, dude,
But-
if you tell your coworkers right now, especially if you're in the like 15 to 35 age range,
Yeah.
if you tell your coworkers that you're Christian, that creates kind of a stir.
Let me tell you what else does.
Go ahead.
And I don't like seeing young people do this,
Go ahead.
but conservatives.
Yeah, that's true too.
Young people are supposed to be idealistic and mush-headed.
Yeah.
They're supposed to have utopian ideals
Sure.
and be pushing against war. What's ironic is like conservatives now are starting to be against war.
Yeah, they're like,
you know, it's weird.
pro-peace.
But I'll tell you, if you want to freak out everyone around you,
Yeah.
Put on a red and blue tie
Yeah.
and a blue blazer,
Yeah.
and start talking traditional. Start talking about traditional
values.
family roles.
Oh, dude.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, here you've got that's countercultural.
That's absolutely
and
true.
I'm not affirming or denying those things.
Sure.
I'm just saying that right now, the counterculture, the things that used to be countercultural are now the mainstream power.
Yes.
And in order to achieve intellectual diversity as a people, a person who wants to be diverse from that and say, I don't know, like the idea that like motherhood is really good,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
It used to be something that pretty much everyone could agree with, but
Yeah.
now it's very controversial. Or
Yeah.
that, like, I was watching this thing, and it was there's a flash of light
Mm-hmm.
that happens in the womb at the moment of it's a recorded phenomenon that when the sperm and the egg conjoin to a zygote,
Yeah.
there's actually an emission of light.
What?
I know it's a little unbelievable, but
Yeah.
this is what someone was telling me.
Okay.
And I'm fairly open-minded to such assertions.
Yeah. Sure.
Someone was saying that to me. They believed
Yeah.
that there's a flash of light, and
Okay.
I, for one, could believe it.
Sure.
And they were saying like there's almost a mystical
Yes.
aspect
Yeah.
to conceiving a child, right?
Yeah.
They're doing this, right?
Yes. Go ahead.
They're telling me this. There's like a mystical aspect to conceiving a child. And then they began to speak about this phenomenon
Mm-hmm.
in the tones
Yeah.
of reverence.
Yes.
And I'm not saying, right presently, I'm not putting forth a position on conception as much as I'm saying that reverence
Yeah.
for conception as the beginning of life, that's countercultural.
100%.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, this is a very weird time.
Yeah.
And I don't think that skateboarding or hip hop or these things per se,
Per se.
or as
yes.
the kids would say, in and of themselves.
in and of themselves.
By the
Right.
way, that's another bunt
Yeah.
bingo
Bingo card.
card.
Yeah. In and
spot.
of themselves.
In and of itself.
We should create one. That would
Yeah.
actually be a hilarious episode. It's just us playing bingo with the bunt, dude.
I think it'd be fun.
That would be awesome.
I thought with a viewing party where we stop and talk about something
Yeah.
would be really fun.
Yes. And we
I,
can't do that.
I would hope that they have thick enough skin to handle it.
Dude, I love those guys. I'd love to sit down and have a conversation with them.
I don't know.
actually want to ask them questions.
I don't
I'm
know
fascinated.
I'm concerned that they wouldn't love us because
Yeah, that's probably true.
I'm
but you
I'm
have
not
that.
sure I want to take any prisoners today.
That's fine.
I'm not sure I want to give quarter
Yeah.
to the kind of culture that I'm hearing coming out of the bunt.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that I want to give quarter to that.
That's fine.
And having a metaphysical affection for someone, recognizing that they are of value at the intrinsic level,
yeah.
wouldn't make it a less prickly conversation necessarily. So I
Well,
think if I had a chance to,
yeah.
I would almost rather slip out a side door.
Yeah, they'd
You
have
know,
to do that.
I would. I think I'd rather slip out a side door than
right.
really go and bring all my opinions and observations. Now, if the bunt guys sit down and listen to this, I imagine they might feel a little bit bummed.
Yeah.
Because I do perceive that they're relatively invested in their public image.
Yeah, well,
And-
and that's their job. That's the way that they make a living. So it makes sense that
Right.
would be a sensitive subject or
Right.
area in their life.
I could see that.
Yeah.
And we are not being nice.
I don't think that that's true.
I do.
I would say something like, I'm going to give you some pushback there because I think we're being extremely kind. We're talking about ideas.
No. I didn't say we're not being kind.
Okay. Okay. You said we're not being nice.
Right. Because kindness and niceness are not synonyms.
But they're okay.
They're not.
I guess it depends on the context.
No.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Subjectively in our society, it is impolite to publicly disagree with public discourse from authority figures.
And you would
And
describe
in this
that
case,
as not nice?
the bunt are authority figures.
Okay.
They are figures of authority, and they have vans
Yeah.
and major pros.
Yes.
And everybody speaks well of the bunt.
Yes.
The 9 Club speaks well of the bunt. Quarter Snacks speaks well of the bunt.
Okay.
Everyone speaks well of the bunt. Also, give them some love.
Oh yeah. Dude.
Also, shout out to.
Yeah.
All right.
Just start writing these down. Dude.
So you see, friends, listeners, and Luke,
Mm-hmm.
what I'm asserting here is there is a huge difference between being agreeable,
Which is nice. Okay.
polite,
Yeah.
and being kind.
Okay.
It actually might be more kind for us to begin critiquing the bunt.
Yes.
Much less agreeable, but much more kind.
Yeah.
Because someone at the bunt might say, I am getting tired of putting on the affectations of a Latino gangster every time I get on here.
Yeah, dude.
Okay.
I know.
My arms are tired from making
This.
hip hop
Yeah,
hands
this.
while I
Yes,
talk.
right. I only have
just-
so many flannels I can do only the top button on.
I actually feel like I need a good ugly cry and to check out, my life.
Yeah.
And I'm tired of living for money. Maybe, possibly,
Yeah.
our incisive and impolite disagreeability
Mm-hmm.
might be a contribution to
Yeah.
a new trajectory.
Yeah. And that's kind of the point. I mean, that's part of the reason, a large part of that
That's
we
why
do
we
this
do
thing.
this.
Yeah.
That's why we do this.
Is to bring some context and
Yeah.
some discourse about it.
Discord and discourse.
Course.
Some conflict.
Yeah. It was nice.
We're not engaging in combat against people, but we are embracing that conflict is a part of a life well lived.
Yes.
And we here at, what is this podcast called?
The CapmLew podcast.
At the we didn't even greet people to the CapmLew podcast.
Don't worry about it.
No, I love it.
If they're here, then they're here.
That's right. We can say what we want.
Yeah, I can say what we want.
So it's funny because we can match the energy of Andy Roy,
Yeah.
2017,
Yes.
and say, we say what we want. We say what we want on our podcast. We have affection for every person made by God. What's that? I will never forgive you guys for making me know that the bunt exists. Live comment from Bob Lofton.
Between a rock and a hard place, always, dude.
Telling Bob Lofton to listen to the bunt.
Yes, that was amazing.
So you can see, and by the way, Bob is one of the folks from, I think we fall into, if skateboarding had lanes, we're sort of that thoughtful lane.
Yeah.
We are Christians.
Yeah.
But and there's you're going to have that in our media,
Yeah.
because that's who we are.
Absolutely.
But we're also thoughtful.
Yeah.
We're trying to be, and I think we're doing it.
Yeah.
And so we're not going to be agreeable toward things like the bunt, or even like Ben DeGrosse when he yammers on for 10 minutes about something that he hasn't quite thought through yet.
Sure.
We'll want to point out that wasn't quite thought through.
Yeah.
And maybe don't believe everything that the mainstream tells you, and don't trust the authorities in skateboarding.
Yeah.
When they give you information, many times they are lying to you. They lie like a rug.
Yes.
Skateboarding industry people lie so much. They've done it for so long, and they've made millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Millions
Millions
of dollars
Yeah.
lying to you, pretending that 100% Canadian maple is a product that you want. That's Chinese made wood.
Yeah.
And they broke the law. They committed fraud.
Yeah.
Jim Gray tried to organize the skateboarding community into a lawsuit over that.
How'd it go?
No one would hold together on
There
it.
you go, man.
No one would hold together
there
on
you
it
go.
for a class action lawsuit. I love Jim Gray.
Mm-hmm.
And
It would be sick to interview Jim Gray.
man,
I said it.
no, we actually can.
I know. You know Jim, right?
I know, but I just
At what price?
we would have to do it in Cleveland.
Oh, that'd be so horrible.
Cleveland, why?
You emerald of the Midwest.
Cleveland.
You shining jewel of the Midwest.
Cleveland in September. Balmy Cleveland.
Balmy Cleveland, dude. Always 20 degrees in Cleveland.
It's nice in September. Cleveland is, it's riding weather in Cleveland. Bundle a little bit all the way to October.
Yeah, but
You
then
can
it
ride
switches, dude.
You can ride your skateboard and your motorcycle in Cleveland all the way into October. But boy, when it hits November,
And what's the Edmund Fitzgerald
the
lyric?
legend lives on from the Chippewa on down
Yes.
of the big lake they called Gichigumi.
Yes.
Um,
When the skies of November grow gloomy.
Turn gloomy.
Turn
That's right.
gloomy.
The lake, it is said, never gives up her dead.
Yes.
When the skies of November turn gloomy. Now that's like Michigan?
No, it's like, I think it's
Superior.
Superior.
Is
and
it?
Dude, what's insane is that storms will roll west to east and hit the lakes and turn into literal hurricanes on the Great Lakes, dude. It's insane. It's completely insane. It's nuts, man. Like hurricane gale force winds on a lake. It's amazing. It's incredible. Also, that song it's beautiful. Anyway, Cleveland is awesome, and we'd go up there and talk to. Does he live in Cleveland?
No, but he goes there for the bash.
Yeah, we'd catch him at a bash.
Catch him at the bash.
Just
and sit him down and have an interview. If I were Jim Gray, I wouldn't touch us with a 10-foot pole, but he will. Because dude, I'm not Jim Gray. He's Jim Gray.
Yeah, he's Jim Gray.
And
right.
He would be more than happy to come on here. The thing is, Jim has a podcast. I think it's called the Believe podcast.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah, Jim Gray has a podcast. Just search for it. We're on all the podcast things, and so is he.
Good.
And he has lots of cool guests. And he had Bud Stratford on there. Yeah, he had Bud from Zeppelin on there.
That's awesome.
Cool.
That's a great guest.
That's very cool.
We have 8 minutes left on the 90-minute mark, just so you know.
This thing still runs in 90s?
It's still 90s, yeah.
You're telling me Spotify still runs in 90s?
Yes.
That was the one thing I was hoping we would escape.
Dude, 90 minutes is so long. It's an hour and a half.
Joe Rogan's podcast goes for hours.
Joe Rogan gets to do what he wants because he's like a multi-bajillionaire.
Then why did he take down so many episodes?
Because he's a multi-gillionaire.
There is a guest that he had on there who really, really was interesting.
Okay, what was he talking about?
He did like 6 or 7 visits on Joe Rogan, and they're all gone. And there's another one who was on 2 or 3 times, and they're all gone.
Was it about the Great Flu?
No,
okay.
It was not. It was not. It was about other things.
Okay.
It was about HT.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
And also I feel like one of the things I'm not sure we can commit to 100%, but you try to not take down bad episodes.
No, I think we should keep them up there.
You want them to just stay. It is what it is.
They stand as a monument to
growth. They stand as a monument to growth and to trajectory of moving forward and trying to do a thing.
Trying to do something.
Well, let's use the last few minutes of today's podcast to just thank Life Skateboards for making the boards we ride. You have a life. Make it better with a Life skateboard.
It's true.
And
I just want to let everybody know quickly, we've switched the podcast to Spotify, which means almost nothing for you unless you're listening on the Podbean app.
Are we off the Podbean app?
We're off the Podbean app. All our older episodes you can probably still find on there, but the new ones are just going to be on Spotify, Apple, Google, and I'm going to probably try to put them on Amazon and SoundCloud or whatever, just a broader range. And they're also going to be on YouTube in a better format than they have been. And if you go to Spotify, if you use Spotify, you'll be able to watch it in video format moving forward from this point on.
A lovely thing. We've got Facebook Live right here. We've got the Spotify camera up there. And hopefully with some help from our friends, we'll get some more mics, more cameras, get things going, maybe even a laptop. And we couldn't be more grateful to be doing what we're doing. We figure that somebody out there is going to like this. And that will be the people that we're trying to get it to. If you have listened this far in an episode and you did not like what you were listening to, follow your heart. Stop.
And maybe send us an email at capmlewquestions@gmail.com.
Oh, if you please. You know what? We haven't gone over feedback. We need to give an episode to some of the feedback that we're getting,
Yeah.
and just really dig in. We haven't really been paying much attention to feedback, but we're going to start to intentionally get in there and pull out some spicy notes for future episodes. Well, maybe we'll do a feedback episode.
Yeah.
And but also big thanks to Bud Stratford at Zeppelin Aero Works, a very, very small, very boutique skateboard brand made in the USA, over at I know where they're
Arizona.
made. Madrid.
Oh,
Madrid.
Oh,
yeah,
that's what you're
Madrid
saying.
makes them. They're well made. They're well designed. Bud is an absolutely awesome skate nerd of the first order.
Yeah.
And he's just terrific. And the Everything Skateboarding magazine that he's coming out with is aimed at guys 35 and older.
Yep.
And gals.
Yes.
It's aimed at folks that are 35 and older.
Yeah.
So it's very interesting. And what I find about that is when you aim media at those people, everybody likes it.
Yep.
You know, except
100%.
for crusty old come correct or don't come at all, a bunch of kooks, Barneys, whatever.
Yep.
Those guys are fewer and further between every day.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah.
And God bless you. If you're one of those guys that I've made mad in the past by just saying things that I thought everyone knew already, you know, I'll keep sticking it to you, but I love you. You know, I'm not going to be agreeable to that.
Yeah.
But I love you.
Yeah.
And if you want to talk about it without fists, that'd be great. If you want to punch me in the face, stay home that day.
Yeah, don't.
Yeah, stay home that day. We don't want any of that.
Nope.
And I feel like there's another, you know what I think we need to do is there is a coffee company.
Okay.
And they're looking for brand partnerships with new YouTubers and new podcasters.
What's the brand called?
It's called Coffee Brand Coffee.
Okay, I'm in.
And
that's all I
it
needed.
is just good ass coffee.
Does it taste like
I don't know.
up?
I don't know.
Okay.
No. They've
It's
got
not super
all
light
kinds
and
of good
acidic and
roasts.
stupid.
Well, they've got blueberry muffin coffee and all that hoo-ha and frou-frou, but they've got good solid dark roast with the chocolates and the charcoal.
Oh,
I'm coming at you, bro.
dude.
I'm
coming at you.
They've got the with the chocolate and the charcoal notes.
Yeah, that's
like that.
awesome. Yeah.
But I've been looking at Coffee Brand Coffee, and I'm going to reach out to them. You and I will reach out to them. We'll figure it out. But I'd like to start to give Coffee Brand Coffee a little bit of love, because it's just about time that something was just what it was.
Yes.
And coming not so soon will be CapmLew Custom Skateboards.
Yeah.
I'll be down there in the lab mixing up my contraptions, and we'll get that going, and that'll be fun for a boy and a girl.
Yes.
So that is today's episode of the CapmLew podcast.
Yep.
Here we are, new format. Love ya. Hope that we get to skate with you.
Yeah.
And
send us an email. Send us some feedback. We love, dude. The emails are awesome. I love the interaction. Absolutely.
They are. We'll be bringing some of them up to the surface. Make sure to let us know if you want us to use your name when we share your emails.
Yes.
We will not share your name without you letting us know you want us to. So make sure that we know that. And we're gonna sign off. But we need a better finishing tagline. We're gonna have to work on that.
We can actually record one on Spotify and just add it to the end every single time, so it's the same.
Will we have to trim the episode so that it fits on the 90?
We just have to. Yeah, we'll have to make sure that we'll stop like right now and then throw it up there so that.
And one day we'll have a soundboard. We can press a button and have Andy saying, "I can say what I want."
Dude, if we use that video software I was talking about, you have those buttons on there.
Yeah, see, now that's good. We're gonna load it up with because that's
hip hop. That's hip hop.
All right, we're out of here. CapmLew podcast signing off for what it's worth.
Laters.
How do we stop it?